simulator will help prepare you for your inevitable yet incredibly special transition into the afterlife. Please sit back, relax, close your eyes. You will journey into the light.
Hello. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna adjust my camera a little bit. There we go. Nice and centered. But yeah, let's get back into it. Hi, Riley. I hope you're having fun with Lies of P. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have to adjust my camera again. You can't see Fulgrim. There he is. Much better. All right. Now we're going to go and have a chat with people in the throne room. It's nice being back at Rogue Trader. I took a little week off because I ran out of my sleep meds and everything sucked. Guess we have to go talk to this guy. A slender figure clad in robes made from expensive fabric shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you, as well as her wishes for your swift return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Let's just not say anything. And my apologies, Alicia. Given the break in the communications between systems in the Expanse, it has become difficult to maintain contact with agents. Receiving this report and assessing the situation is my primary responsibility. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Coronus Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Alright, do you know anything about what has become of Kunrad Voitvir? Word of his treason reached Argonis too late. Kunrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt, but it seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who was allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures it in secret. And we're just gonna, skim right past that. Okay. What are your responsibilities on Dargonis? Officially, I'm a secretary at this world's Administratum Department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I am concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Coronus Expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I am still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. Okay, do you know anything about the cult of the Final Dawn? My knowledge is deplorably limited, your ladyship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master Van Calix can tell you much more about those heretics than I. Well, I don't want to talk to Heinrichs. So guess I'm shit out of luck. And tell me about Xenos. The residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity, but recently the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonis. Both they and the colonies that they are departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat, the Drukari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Everything is humanity's ancient and insidious foe. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. About your unofficial... Oh, a plundered void station in Langren's Belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates who are not above dealing with the Xenos. Okay, that's good to know. About your unofficial work... do you truly serve? Alright. Okay. You're annoying. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs in the Protectorate. I've already forwarded all official reports to your seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonis' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonis, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. I would like to know more about the Versarians. A line founded by Lady Theodora's seneschal, and as such are nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonis, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never were granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonis. And secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the Rogue Trader's favor. The Versarians are responsible for the capital world's fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. Alright, what about House Sourback? Religious and hard-working. That's true. That is true. The Sauerbachs own many enterprises, including distillation manufactorums that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sauerbach family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the von Valancius dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. What makes the Gapraks special? The Gapraks hail from a remote Forge world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gapraks oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kiavagama was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. Well, I've been to Kiavagama already. The planet was tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. Grim tidings. And the drive stems are the ancient governor house of Dargonis. Predictably, the greater wealth of the von Valancius protectorate, and the fuller their Predictably, the greater the wealth of the von Valancius protectorate, the fuller their coffers grew. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that Urband drive stems rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I find that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the drive stems, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. Well, after hearing all that, I now feel the urge to have every one of those sycophants executed at once. You are naturally well within your right, Rogue Trader, but remember that this will cause the multi-layered bureaucratic system of Dargonis, of your entire protectorate in fact, to come apart at the seams. And that's not even considering the likelihood of attempted reprisals from their families and allies. I would hold off on the death sentences. Act with restraint and wisdom. Present for all to see sufficient proof of the unwanted house's guilt. Do not mistake me. Mass executions are one way to solve your problems. But in that case, you should weigh up every possible scenario before you act. Hey, fine. Enough about the nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report? Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole. It's like a pamphlet that you would find in like a Imperium waiting room. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered throughout the Carnus expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats including Xenos raids. Well then. Okay, we'll keep that all in mind. I'm just gonna save really quick in case of more crashing. Ooh, actually, let's head outside. Because your companions hang around outside, and I want to go talk to Cabela. I miss her. Where is she? There she is. Hi, Dorian. Oh, okay, so we can't, like, fully talk to Cabela right now. Alright. Let's go advance the stupid main quest, I guess. Instead of talking to our girlfriend. Ooh, that's fun. I think in one of Heinrich's, like, personal quests you end up fighting some mandrakes. Which is... It was an outstandingly annoying combat from what I remember. No, don't fall over. Oh, why are you so wobbly? Where are we going? I thought we came... Oh, we have to talk to Clementia. My bad. Ready to see the governor. Alicia von Valencius, 20th in her line, Rogue Trader, keeper of the Sacred Warrant, and ruler of the Coronus Expanse from the Cranach system to the 100 Dreams Crossroads. I bid you welcome. Urband Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valencius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. Yeah, it sucks so bad fighting them in Rogue Trader as well. The citizens of Dargonis and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady. Ooh, that sounds really fun. Yeah, let's declare a full year of mourning. All necessary instructions. Immediately give all necessary instructions. Esteemed Alicia, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and persevere in spite of this tragedy, together, and let us carry on where she no longer can by leading the Von Valencia's protectorate to even greater prosperity. I don't like the inclusion of the together there. I feel like you're about to suggest a political marriage. Don't want that. Ooh. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonis flew into a rage. Governor Euben can jog on, exactly. Astropaths of Dargonis flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonis Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the Von Valencius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. Well, what exactly did the Dargonis nobility expect from me, in light of the loss of routes and communication with other worlds? We're all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonis and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rabble to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiavagama, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is penal world Viabos 6? Viabos 6. One of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Well, I've already been to Kiavagama. The industrial world was overtaken by a cult of chaos worshippers. Such woeful tidings, your ladyship. I assume that House Gaprak is in for an official investigation. If I may remind you, they have particularly close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus and serve as patrons of Kiavagama. Not to speak in the defense of criminals, your ladyship, but from where I stand, the outbreak of heresy on Kiava could hardly have been perpetrated by a noble family who stands to lose the majority of their wealth should the industrial world fall. And somebody killed our puppy! Exactly! Naming no names, but staring directly at Heinrichs and Argenta. It's too early to draw any conclusions. We'll wait for the results of the investigation. The production facilities of Kiavagama will serve humanity once more, rest assured. I've already visited the agri-world Janus. Governor Viat found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. The Viat line is one of the oldest in the Von Valencia's protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Accursed Xenos took Vistenzia's life, but her death was avenged. Lying. We're lying. I love lying. Such intriguing concern for the Viabos 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Your ladyship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, without Viabos 6, the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments, and in these troubling times they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of the Von Valencius dynasty. Well, that does it for the planets and trade routes. What else? Xenos, your ladyship. I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Carnus expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging to them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty, or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. I don't think that's true, but I will humor you. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonis. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of WH40k has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession up to the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Aw, yeah, let's have Cabela take care of it. Yeah, let's have Cabela take care of it. This will bring the noble houses into line for years to come. Wonderful. Which houses... Ooh! Your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented under Agonis by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. What are the other options? Any of the noble houses. Well, your presumption is wrong, because we're using the Versarians. Yay! I love you, Abelard. The Versarians, whose lineage traces back to a Navy officer, are not of the Dargonis nobility. Well, okay, is your family name on the warrant, or is mine? When is the ceremony? Until we deal with pressing issues, the ceremony will be postponed. Okay. So... save really quick. We got a lot of things done. So now we have to go and check out, I think WH6. Ooh, or there's a bunch of other side quests that we can look into. Yes, okay. So we're gonna head to WH6. Stop wobbling like that. Oh, you stress me out. We're gonna head back to the ship. Yes? Yes. Yes, we're gonna head back to the ship. Which is all the way down here, I think. And then I think after Vivo 6, we're going to do the Magna Accessio. And then before we head into the things that lead up to getting Comrade, we'll take care of some side quests. Terrible news from Dargonis, Lord Captain. A subsidiary hive city, Shipion 84249, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? Yeah, we will not abandon a single person in the wastelands, establish labor settlements. What is the cause of the catastrophe? Still unclear. The noble houses are casting blame on one another, of course they are. Agents of the esteemed Achilles Scalander, stationed in Shipion 84249, died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster. Their final reports mentioned some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive, but did not go into further detail. All your servants are currently too busy dealing with the consequences of the crisis to investigate its causes. Okay. Well, let's see what our advisors say, and then we'll just sort of do the opposite of whatever Heinrich suggests. No, we're not putting them in the fucking wastelands, dude. We're not establishing a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Shut up. Abelard, remind the noble houses of their duties. The hives that have accepted the refugees are now overflowing with surplus labor. The refugees are willing to work twice as hard as the usual workers, who are already exhausted by their everyday toils. Many refugees have entered the Rogue Trader's service and replenished her ship's crew. Yay! Dargonis' nobles took no pleasure in distributing the refugees. Some of them have found their way into the personal service of the nobles, thankful to receive a Nutribar and a mat to rest on for 4 hours between shifts. Others could only attain the most grueling jobs at the manufactorums and service stations. They may be oppressed, but they have survived. A diaspora... I don't think I've ever actually said that word out loud before. Anyway, they're scattered across the hives of Dargonis. Projects. No! We're not doing that! Let's do restoration. And save real quick. And off to Viabo 6. Thank you, Riley. Yes. hey, we made it through with no warp incursions. Good for us. And let's just make that safe. Just in casesies. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Viabos 6 is located here. The problem is the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. That's not good. It's impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher the telemetry easily. Xenos. Well, then they're not unknown, are they? The armory and artillery crews are standing by. Okay. I go sneaky around. Can I just avoid the void combat entirely? Pretty please? No, we have to do it. Okay. Anguish. Where are they? Oh. Can I just... Oh, right. I'm going to just send out some torpedoes, and if I end up hitting someone with them, great. If not, oh well. You missed me, you idiot. You're taking tick damage, you idiot. What the hell? Blow up my torpedoes until they hit you. Yay! Good job. Good job, me. Swift and merciless retribution is a proper fate for many transgressors, but the Imperium permits using the convicts for hard labor on distant prison worlds like Viabos 6. To atone for their crimes before humankind, hundreds of thousands of rogues and lowlifes toil in the mines of the Von Valencia's protectorate until death from exhaustion or some other unfortunate accident claims their forsaken souls. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I'm gonna bring Jai. Yes. Instead of... Ooh, wait, no. Let's bring Erliette. Erliette's gonna have fun on this planet. And I will do level up stuff off screen later.
Veabos 6 always was a penal world. But this, even the miscreants of this place do not deserve such a fate.
The man's body is frozen in an unnatural pose. The corpse's fingers are crooked and its teeth are bared in a ghastly grimace. The man clawed at his throat right before he died. The broken, slashed, and gutted body is still covered with the shreds of a planetary warden uniform. The caustic ooze gives off a sickening vapor that eats away at the lining of your nose and mouth, making your eyes water. The sign of Hecateria, a witch cult from the depths of Comarog. Hold on, what was that? Tread carefully. Their footsteps make no sound, and their blades strike faster than lightning. The bodies have been twisted into a pose resembling a servile bow, and bound with barbed wire. Several thin cuts left by bladed weapons on the body. Guess who it is? The tall, lithe Xenos moves with the grace of an otherworldly predator. The creature gives you a dispassionate glance and casually speaks a few words that are immediately picked up by your elucidator. Macandus, Aelith, what is this? Has one of the sisters found an amusing trinket in the ruins and saved it as a special treat for the Archon? By whose leave are you playing Lord on my world? The monkey understands my speech. Where did you come by a device that can translate our language? Are you trying to impress me by appearing useful? Such words will earn you a bout in the ring at most, without weapons and soon without your skin. Who are you? My name is known to everyone on this planet, monkey. I am Tazara the Deliverer, Tazara the Benevolent, the one who grants respite from the choking grasp of this world. I decide who lives, who dies, and who finds new purpose for their existence in Comarog's many arenas. Surely this is why you have come here, to fight for my ever-changing favor and for the privilege of being the first to be chained. Such grandiose names for a soulless wretch who tortures the breathless and torments the powerless. Your words hint at a nobility you have never possessed. What an unexpected and tantalizing surprise. I cannot wait to take you in my arms and clasp you tightly to me. How? Addressing the fighters in the arena, how could you stoop to this, to killing one another for the amusement of the enemies of humanity? What, was I supposed to lie down and die? The ones who survive the arena, the Xenos take them away. I saw humans boarding shuttles with my own eyes. They're going to take us away from here. You were supposed to furnish yourself with a means of respiratory protection and inflict maximum damage on the perpetrators before ceasing your vital functions. Thank you, Pascal. How cruel you are to your unfortunate kin. These monkey have worked hard to entertain their elite audience. Each of them fights with a strength born of desperation, seeking to earn their place in my box of toys. There's always room for more. My toys do break so very easily. I am a rogue trader, the Emperor's anointed, guardian of humanity, and your doom, Xeno scum. No, that's a little too confident for Alicia. Let's go with the you will pay for this. Am I not paying for our mischief already? Am I not saving the worthiest among your kin, gifting them the right to die for the delight of my brothers and sisters? What kind of abhorrent ingratitude is this? From the dark behind Tizara comes a cry. The distance between you and the Xenos is too great for the elucidator to interpret the words, but the tone alone speaks of irritation and impatience. Oh my god, you can mispronounce her name. Ooh, let's try the persuasion. Do you truly wish to die at the Xenos' behest? Persuasion test succeeded! This is not bad news, Riley. Big wrench is always good news.
Your kind has no place in the galaxy.
Combat, we go. These guys are on our side now, so we just have to worry about the Drakari. Where's Argenta gonna go? Oh, we don't get to position ourselves. Okay. Let's get Argenta here.
God Emperor,
Yes.
move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
And we'll do control
Faith
shot,
without deeds is worthless.
so we don't paste our own guys.
Doubt is for the weak.
And then we'll paste our own guys anyway. Let's see, keep Bella over on
A
this
dance
way.
of blades and shadows.
Let's get to it.
Guys, you can't get to them through the wall.
Let's make it
I'm
quick.
really sorry, you can't get to them through the wall. Get Irliet in a little sniper spot.
This tedium is beneath.
Another soul slips beyond
Well
the veil.
done, Irliet. And I think that's it. I think that's good for her.
You will pay for this in blood!
Oh, you just ran right past Cabela?
My
Okay.
ears are ringing.
Advancing.
Pascal, end this man.
Request approved. Insignificant value.
Oh, beautiful. And then Alicia, let's get a forewarning of
I need no
Abelard,
guidance.
as per usual. And then do a psychic shriek at someone.
One
This guy
step
looks
closer.
shriekable. Did that miss? No, it did not miss. Okay.
I'm in, maggot.
I'll show you the real pain.
Abelard over here this way? Over here this way, yes. But that's about as far as he can go, I think.
Victory is imminent.
No, go after Abel. Come on, man.
Scared yet? I won't let her
Hold on.
devour me. Get the true master. Inflict the pain.
I don't think there's anyone. Oh,